Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are jumping to our review of episode 6 of Ready to Olive. So please make sure, if you have not already, that you hit that like button.
And the subscribe button.
And let's get into it and let's see who's ready to olive this episode.
Nobody.
Tommy and the guys are in the gentleman's lounge. And obviously we know that Zoas went home and Justice and LJ have been saved. Now, Nephew Tommy lets us know that this week they have the power to send one lady home, but asks them, based upon the feedback from what he got from the ladies, are they having a hard time connecting? Because Nephew Tommy has been getting word that these niggas out here in the streets being difficult.
I mean, it is Miami.
Now, he lets them know when it comes to love, you get back what you put in, and says this week he wants them to make the ladies' hearts flutter and take them on romantic dates. He said, thoughtfulness and consideration. Keep that in mind, fellas. Thoughtfulness and consideration.
And some vulnerability.
I've seen a couple dates where I was like, is this really considerate or is this something that you wanted to do?
I saw a couple of dates like that too.
But anyway.
I'm going to say one.
I saw one, right. When Tommy gave them assignment, I literally said in my head, Samson is going to love this because he's already been doing it. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, they cut to Samson in confessional. And he's like, this is right up my alley. This ain't nothing new. He said, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Samson, I'm considerate and I'm thoughtful 24/7. That's what I do. As we know, LJ, Sharice, they go salsa dancing. The girl got 2 left feet. She's not good at it. She's stiff as hell. And not only is she stiff in her dance move, but she's stiff as hell in her conversation, dry as Hills would like to say. And Samson is like, what are you doing this week? He's trying to engage her. And she's just giving very surface answers. Like,
he was definitely trying to carry the conversation.
I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy some apples. I was like, I'm sorry.
And you know what, he feels it too. He's like that. I wish that she would make more effort to connect, because he definitely was. He was definitely trying to connect with her. So Randall, he takes Jay. Not rah-rah.
Rah-rah.
I'm not calling that man rah-rah.
Randall. I don't call him that either, but
he ain't my rah-rah. Let me tell you something. In the beginning, the first episode, he could have been rah-rah. With them sunglasses on, he was sunglass fishing. He's Randall.
She's terrible.
So he took her to Carrie K Candle Company. Okay.
Keep that in your mind next time we in Miami.
Yes. And it was
Fort Lauderdale. That sounds like some Fort Lauderdale shit. But anyway, I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, South Florida. Florida. And he brought her flowers as well, which I thought was super cute. Jay is excited to see him in his hoochie daddy shorts.
And the shorts?
No, was you looking at the thing?
No, but the shorts was shortened.
You know, I didn't even notice. I swear, I be feeling like something wrong with me. I didn't even notice. I know she said it, but I ain't rewind to go back and look at it. I was just like, girl.
You trying to compare that VPL. For those that don't know.
Visible print line.
Visible print line.
Yes. Let me say something. If you got the VPL, you don't need a visible print line. It's just there. Okay. So they're picking out the oils, and she asked, you know, is it like 2 or 3 or whatever? And, you know, she was like, you know, this is like reminding me of the process that we're in. She was like, you know, it's just 1 and 1 for me. He was like, yeah, that's what I like to hear. I bet you do. While you're out here with other connections. Jay feels the process, you know, is kind of quick. So she's trying to brace herself, she says. And he says in his past relationships, you know, he feels like he was holding back. So he's taking the opposite approach. Okay. So, you know, their candle is done. It's time to name this thing. Put a little, I think it's cute because, you know, they're like decorating like the inside of the glass, and he's putting these flowers. It was given very much fall. And he says it's making him miss DC, you know, with the fall, because you don't get that in Florida.
Yep, you will learn to miss seasons living down there.
Literally. Yeah, if you ain't from there, yeah. And she was like, you know, we could take trips to DC. I said, oh, okay. Miss Ma'am is planning for the future.
Okay.
Talking about going back
and he
home.
takes it a step further and says, well, that would be great because I think my mama would really like you.
Because there are a lot of, like, you know, they got different personalities and shit. I don't know how. I don't know how I would take that. But then, you know, he was like, basically, he made it better. He was like, you know, she's big-hearted, driven, she's funny, and she would enjoy Jay a lot. So he means like all the great qualities in his mom, you know, is what he sees in her. And she says, you know, it brings her peace when he speaks on the future. And he was like, you know, I'm just trying to speak this into existence. Girl, you better watch out for that DC boy. You better watch out for that DC. You know, they're flipping through a book of labels, and she's like, you know, I already named this. You're like, oh, for real? Yeah, and this is where Teresa got it from. She named it olive juice. Okay, which, you know, if you mouth it, it looks like you're saying I love you. And he went right along with it. He loves it.
And he said, I loved you too. I said, oh, okay. Well,
but at the end of the day, he does say, you know, they kissed. It was a great kiss. He loves it. But he says he does still have
I was gonna say, you out here handing out olive juices to Kayla and Trinika too.
And yeah, that puts him in a tough spot. I don't think he's saying olive juice to them, but who knows? He might be kissing on them too. I mean, he walking them to their car, and
I don't know, Randall. He said, look, it's just a part of the process. Swayze has decided to invite Shakira, Looney, Justice, and I believe, was there anyone else here?
No, I think that was it.
That was
Looney,
it.
Shakira, and Justice, yeah.
And they're going to spend a day on the trampolines in the hot-ass Miami sun, jumping around, working out. Now, this
and I think that it looked like they were like at the beach area where
the
there's
beach
like hardly any trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all for a good workout. Like I promise you, I swear, that's not a date to me. That's not a date. Now, if you want to say you want to hit the gym before we go to this dinner, absolutely.
What I was confused about
and what about what was the thoughtful or considerate?
Romantic. Damn all
or
that.
vulnerable. This is what
So I think we're on the same page. This is the one date we were talking about.
This is the one date where I was like, no, this didn't make no sense. This is just something you wanted to do, Swayze, which is fine. That's what you like to do.
In this moment, because I would have been just like Justice.
Well, Justice didn't even show up in the right kind of attire to work out.
I wouldn't have been. It's supposed to be a date.
Justice had too many clothes on to be out on the beach at that time of day anyway. First of all, in the sun like that.
I don't know. In this moment, I felt Justice. I'd have been watching everybody work out. Shakira was super excited about it. She was like, oh, you know, I wanted to have do something interactive because she had such a, you know, hard week about her past traumas and things like that. Like, she loved this. Yeah, I would have been just like Justice. Like, yeah, I'm golden. Like,
so speaking of Shakira, that's a very great segue. So okay. We all know I'm and I hate to sigh like that, so forgive me, Shade Squad. We all know Shakira has been through some stuff. I'm getting to a point where I'm tired of talking about it or addressing it, and I'm tired of her bringing it up. So, although you know we love Keisha, so please don't. It's not that. It's just I'm tired of talking about it. So, and I noticed she sits down with Swayze, which I don't even think she's even super close with Swayze or even has a connection.
No, but I think he's trying to see if there's something there.
No, he is, but they sit down. She asks him about his daughter. He asks about her son. And then she goes into how she's traumatized from the white party because somebody told her business about her past. And I was like, that's not how that conversation was supposed to go.
You know what it was giving me though?
Or the only thing I can think, and I think I know where you're going, she probably feels like, oh, I know you up Caden's behind anyway. So I want you to run back and tell her that I felt.
And I felt like that's where he knew what she was talking about as well.
Right.
I felt like
I did pick up on that, but I don't know. I just felt like that would have been an opportunity for us to learn something else about her. And shout out to Reddy, one of our followers. But he made a good point in saying that in a way, Shakira does a very good job of using her son as her storyline and as her wall
and her trauma.
We can't ever we don't know, like, let's really think about it. And we love her. We know, I think she said she's from Brooklyn. I think we got that. We know she looked like Keisha from Belly. She has a son. She obviously was in a traumatic relationship. Those are 4 things. What else do we know about Shakira out of these 6 episodes that she has played a pretty big part in?
We don't know that she's not ready to live.
Number 5, we know she's not ready to love. Sorry.
On another note, I thought it was super dope that Justice feels like he has a strong connection.
Oh, you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Don't do that because you know I don't really like Justice. I am trying to be nice, okay? But he says that, soon when she came back,
disclaimer, we always keep it real. I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but we always keep it real the majority of the time. Go ahead.
He's trying to connect with somebody. He's trying to
outside himself. Okay. He gets a
let's not do that because I was the one who initially did not like Justice from the jump. Okay. I am not a Justice fan.
So speaking of prime example, Shakira had an opportunity to let us know about herself or let's get to know her. Justice, this was your opportunity to redeem yourself. And you know what you did? You made us think that you're broker than we thought you were before. Because literally everything you like to do is free. Him and Looney are sitting talking, and I was confused at Looney, and I'm not trying to make it a money thing or whatever, but I was confused.
I know he said he had his grand opening that night or something.
He said he had his grand opening that night. I thought we had the grand opening. That's why you left the white party, but
we don't know if that was his grand opening. We just knew he had to take care of business.
Okay, that ain't my business. So my whole thing was, as they're sitting here talking, he asked her, oh, first of all, he saves the ladybug, which whatever. Anyway, then he's sitting there talking to her and he's like, oh, have you ever been out on the water? And she's like, yeah, I used to actually work for a cruise line. And he's like, oh, that's super dope. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, so did you get to go on any trips? And she's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, were they free? Well, that shit disgusted the fuck out of me, bruh. That's the type of nigga to fuck with you. I'm surprised he ain't fucking with Brandy for the free flights. Get the fuck out of here, bruh. He wants a buddy pass. Get out of here. You
had to stand up on
that? Yes, because that shit irritated me. Not, oh, we could take some beautiful trips together. This nigga said, oh, free. That's my type of trip. I like long free walks on the beach and shit where I ain't got to buy nothing. Get the fuck out my face, Justice. Get the fuck out my face.
Oh my God.
Stop playing in my face, Justice. You are not ready to love. You are ready to save a coin. Get the fuck
Well, we know he wouldn't be bringing no food on a date with your ass.
Anyway, Looney somehow feels like that their connection is deepening.
So does he.
Because he realized he ain't got to spend no money. Because clearly she's cool with this.
It ain't just her though.
Oh, Trinika, Pick Me feel the same way too.
Not Pick Me.
let's call a thing a thing.
Or, you know, as the older folks say, a spade a spade.
Yes. We are jumping into Samson and Brandy. They look like they're going to a little cute little wine bar dinner. Samson, smart, get the wine. And he's over here, you know, he got his Chardonnay knowledge, but we know that because he's been there before. I was going to give you your props and be like, look at you, wine connoisseur. But that's okay.
Brandy was too, but she was like, oh, okay, yeah, you've been here before, right?
Yeah, right. So he asked her has she's ever been engaged. And Brandy lets us know, as I think we've heard before, she hasn't even been in like a real life relationship before.
She feel like all these dudes out here playing games. I want to know if she's been in Miami her entire life. That's what it made me think of. Have you been in Miami your entire life?
And she says, yeah, nobody ever really tries to get to know her on the inside. Samson is intrigued that Brandy is more than just a Coke bottle. I said, yes, okay. And that she has a personality that makes you want to be around her. And I can agree. I genuinely enjoy watching her on the screen. Like, she hasn't been too problematic yet. She's not messy. And she knows what she wants. She says that she believes in meeting a guy halfway as long as he's willing to reciprocate. Now, I think that may be her it. I don't know. That may be her it.
That she's willing to meet him halfway.
I think that she's so willing to be flexible because remember, she said a lot of the times she ended up in relationships with people that were already in relationships, or she thought that was her boyfriend, but he was actually somebody else's boyfriend.
Is it wrong to say that I feel like part of the reason that she
is her job
going through that, it's her job. You're not home all the time. You're not accessible, and they could easily have a whole life, a whole family, and you're just the weekend girlfriend.
That can happen, unfortunately. So Brandy asked Samson the last time he was in a relationship, and he wants to clarify, and I love this. Shout out. He said, are you asking the last time I was in a relationship or the last time I was in love? It's a difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. Now, he says that he dated a Colombian girl. And apparently what really set her apart was the fact that she was so vulnerable with him. And it allowed him to be vulnerable and give him that platform to be vulnerable. Unfortunately, they decided to break up mutually. But he feels that set him up to
I don't know.
for his wife.
No, listen.
Teach your master class today. Please.
Samson, because I believe you're gonna watch this. Okay. It couldn't have been me. Because I would have wanted to delve deep. What do you mean mutually? Why? Why did you guys decide to break up mutually? What happened? Why did you, if it was so great, she set you up for your wife, what happened that you decided, you know what? It's best we both go our separate ways. And then you stop calling each other, stop texting each other. What happened? I need details.
Nels wants details. I said Samson.
I don't want details. I'm saying if I was Brandy, I would have asked for details.
And I'm saying you need to go out here and get your bag and do a master class for these men out here.
What you ain't about to do is sitting here and tell me, oh yeah, we just broke up mutually, and you know, making me feel like she was the one that got away and y'all just broke up mutually, and I ain't asking no questions.
And
I bet you if it was Mike, she would have asked.
Huh? What'd you say?
I bet you if it was Mike, she would have asked.
Oh, absolutely. Now let me get into, I can't believe we missed this. Samson's so thoughtful. He presents her with like, it was a cute little like journal where she can write down her memoirs, all her travels. And he lets her know that, you know, when they meet back up or whatever, that he wants to see that book full of her journeys, her experiences.
The thoughtful gifts.
And I said, that is just so sweet.
And I feel like with like, I feel like people think that, you know, when people say like their love language is gift giving, they think like they
think expensive gifts,
like or just whatever, like, oh, you just want a gift, you just want shoes, you want a bag. No, it's literally things like physical things to show me. If you can't send me a text, hey, thinking about you or whatever. Physical things to show, hey, you know what? I was out today and I saw this and I thought about you. I
You know
saw
what
this.
one of the most thoughtful things, and this is probably going to sound really stupid, but you know, one of the most thoughtful gifts that I ever got was for Valentine's Day. And my dude at the time knew that I hated assorted fucking chocolates. So I hated when people used to give me the little heart chocolates.
Because you could only pick out the ones that you like.
Right. He actually went and found a box of completely, it was all milk chocolate. I didn't have to pick through anything.
That's
I could
amazing.
pick through everyone. And that to me was so
that is amazing. See, shit like that is amazing. That's the type of shit that like,
yeah, no, it was a big deal. Clearly, I still remember it. Yeah.
That's huge. And I mean, you know, to some people it doesn't mean a lot. Like a lot of people, some people do want like expensive gifts or whatever, but
right.
To me, like that shit is huge. Because you're like thinking about what I like, you're considering what I like. Like, yeah. I thought that was super dope. And you don't even know her like that. You don't even know her like that. But
and that's what I thought was so dope, because it was like he literally put thought into it. But how do you do that when you don't even know the person? Samson,
he travels a lot. You know what? Write down your memoirs of your trips, and that was super dope. Even if he would have got like,
he don't do nothing else, he is doing a great job advertising himself as a life coach. Go see Samson, get your life together, people. Brandy does say, although she is feeling or digging Samson's vibe, her deepest connection is still Mike. They still
know her heart lies.
That's what she wants. She gonna stick beside him. So Mike decides to go out with Kayla, and they set up a date at the pool hall. Now I said Mike was kind of, in my opinion, moving a little funny, and Nails, you know, said, don't come for Mike.
Don't come for Mike.
I'm not going to come for Mike. He said that Brandy is the reality.
That's the only thing I didn't like that he said.
She's very clear about what she wants and how she wants to move. However, Kayla is a video girl fantasy.
Video fantasy.
And he wants to, what he said? Okay. And
like,
he wants
see
to
the real her
to find out why she moves the way she moves.
Let me say something. I need to be your reality and your music video vixen bitch. That's what I need to be.
All in one. Life.
All in one. Okay. Now,
and I was gonna say, was your girl Brandy, when she was busting the wide open at the pool party for you from the Jenga, that wasn't enough when she was twerking on you?
I'm telling you, this whole season so far, that's the only thing that I was like, Mike, what do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean, sir?
Please explain. Kayla says she believes that there is an attraction between her and Mike. However, he's not showing consistently his interest like he's showing Brandy. And she is basically there to let him know that she feels that shit. So Mike and Kayla are getting very competitive, but also we can sense that there's a lot of sexual chemistry. I would even say tension. Oh, that's what he did. He tried to call her out. He was like, oh, why?
I wouldn't be surprised if she was the next woman to go home, to be honest with you.
Whoa. I didn't see that coming. Why would you say that?
Who does who does she have a solid connection with?
I thought Swayze.
Randall? Are you going to say Randall? Because that's not super solid.
Wow. I hadn't started thinking about that yet. I felt like because she was glued in with so many different, like she has Randall.
I feel like people are starting to branch off a little bit, and she's kind of like trying to figure her way.
Oh, so you think she's gonna end up on the island by herself? Somebody should end up on the island by themselves. It should be Charisse. But anyway, so
she has a connection. I agree with you, but she has.
And this is what I was talking about. Samson, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
It's over. I bet you he saved her. He saved her, girl. I bet you he saved her.
Yes, back to Kayla and Mike. So, you know, basically they bet on the pool game, and whoever wins has to give the other person a kiss,
which is a win-win anyway.
Of course, which is a win.
I love those type of bets.
So of course Kayla wins, and Mike feels some type of way because he's like, I really don't want to, you know, I'm not here for your lips being all on these other men.
I loved it though. I loved it. Is it wrong that I loved it?
She likes that because she don't like friendly. That's So that's her alley. That's right up her alley. I mean, I don't like niggas either, but
and I love the fact that he said it. Like, I don't want to kiss you after you kissing other niggas. And I know for sure that you kissed other niggas.
Randall and Swayze to be exact. So she's like, is this what this is about?
You damn right.
Now he does give her a kiss.
Like, just because you brush in between don't mean shit. Let her know, Mike. Let her know.
Now he does give her like kisses on the cheek or whatever.
They might have kissed her there too, Mike.
Be
careful. COVID.
Obviously, the sexual chemistry is definitely there. He basically asked where he stands, and apparently there was conversations off camera, and I guess he may have told her how he felt, and she's still unsure because she feels like he's playing both sides, basically. He says that he loves the fact that she's sexy and engaging, but he feels like Brandy is still his strongest connection. And I hate to say it, but I can agree. I definitely think there's sexual energy between them two, but I don't think he sees anything serious.
I don't want to blame her, but for you to say that he's playing both sides, is it wrong to say I feel like you should read between the lines? He's really not fucking with you like that. He didn't even want to kiss you because you're out here kissing every other nigga. And you know for sure that he's giving more attention to Brandy than he is to you. You know this.
So you saying she's ignoring the
read between the lines.
Oh.
Read between the lines. Take it back to middle school. No. He's just not that into
He's just not that into you. Well, damn. Now we move on to Samson. He invites Swayze and Katie and Sharice, Trinika out for a date to roller skate. Was there anybody
Mike? And Mike.
Mike is in it again. He's always on the
Mike.
Now we have a new nickname. Shout out again to Reddy for this lovely nickname, Mother May I, which is Katie. Mother May I is walking around giving, and the only reason I really brought this out, I wasn't even going to bring it up. It was going to be an inside joke between us as friends. But then when I saw her up there giving everybody instructions on how to skate, I said, Mother May I is appropriate because she thinks she's everybody's damn mama. She's instructing everybody on how to do, what to do. She's telling Mike how to manage himself as a Black man. She's a Katie, Mother May I. Can you stop? Swayze might like that shit, but not everybody else like that.
Swayze's a baby.
So, she's giving everybody direction. Her and Swayze are noticeably close. They actually look like they walked in together. Sharice has anxiety because she hasn't seen Katie since their disagreement in the ladies' lounge. Katie doesn't believe in being fake and has no intentions of actually speaking to Sharice.
Clearly the feeling is mutual.
So they just not talking. They go out on the floor and we see everyone looking like they're having a good time. Swayze is assisting Trinika around the rink with her broken wrist. And I'm going to say this, Trinika, why do you keep doing activities with a broken wrist and then be mad when you fall or somebody hits you or... So we see Katie and Mike, they seem to be getting along. I said, okay, this is a newfound friendship we have here. Now Samson actually falls.
They established they don't like each other.
Right. Samson actually falls looking at Sharice's booty. Now he then asks her to step aside so they can go grab something to eat. And even then she's like, okay. Like she's just, it's dry. It's like, I'd be like, great.
She is. She's pretty dry. She's like,
this is dry. Sharice asked Samson, what's the most romantic thing he's ever done? And he says that he took his girlfriend to Paris and booked a table at the Eiffel Tower
at sunset. What? Period.
Samson, I see you on the cover of the masterclass. Just
Samson, I'm gonna say it again.
With the thinking look, with the profound. I see it. I see it for you. I'm speaking it into your universe.
Samson, listen. That's great for income, okay? But I'm gonna assume that if you have friends like you or friends around you that you have already, spoke this into their ear, talked into the, you know what I mean?
Into their spirit, their lifestyle, because birds
Exactly.
of a
So
feather
I'm
flock
going
together.
so I'm going to assume that if you have friends, they are like this and they don't need this type of coaching because they've been around you. So Samson, we need more men like you. Now, if you have them around you, please let us know. Let us know.
We all know Samson's just great. Sharice then goes into a conversation about how this is another thing that frustrated me about this episode. So he's saying that beautiful romantic thing that he just did, and maybe they edited something out that we didn't see, but then she comes in talking about how she's an only child and she's giving, and even in her younger days, she is always giving her stuff to other people. I said, what?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I think she was just basically saying, like, because he was giving. So she was like, growing up, she's always been giving as well. And, she would give away her toys and her code and stuff like that. And she was just trying to relate. I mean, it wasn't
So
like
the last time you did something for somebody else was when you was a child, because to me, I just felt like it could have been a better.
It wasn't a ticket to Paris, but
I'm just saying, like, I've
relate.
done things in my adult life for men, or you know what I mean, that I've dated.
That's not the energy she gives. She doesn't even give her conversation.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, you had to go back to childhood to find something to relate.
You know what would really piss me off though? If Samson is this genuine and this nice and this giving, and Sharice is the complete opposite, she gives the type that she gives user.
I feel like, and granted, nobody should, I feel like,
and Samson, don't shoot me for saying that.
Know better, but I feel like she's the type of person that could drain your energy. And he seems like he has such a good and positive energy that I that's why I said I can't see it for you, bro. But if that makes you happy, absolutely. If she, whatever.
She may be the best option for him on this show. Maybe.
Right.
Or as far as he sees anyway.
Right. So then she brings up how he mentioned that he looks forward to having a relationship with the person that he like gets involved with or marries. Father, obviously, because he feels like maybe he missed out on some things not having, his dad there, because he, passed away so soon in his life. She let him know that he turned out great even without his father, and lets him know that his mom did a wonderful job. They feel that they are both in a good place mentally, physically, and spiritually. He feels
and they got some chemistry, according to them.
Okay. Swayze and Kadian, they go off to have a sidebar. And I'm not going to lie to you, Mother Mayout had her questions ready. She was drilling them, like she was drilling her son at the dinner table. And basically asked, what do you like about me? And he said he loves the fact that she's beautiful. She's always eating. He likes her personality. And she feels some type of way, like, you really going to talk about the way that I eat? And he's like, no, but I really like that though.
Right. Out of everything, like.
He tells Kadian that she has a good head on her shoulders, but she talks too much. I was like, oh, well, Mother.
She's like, hold on, you talking more than me.
Sir? I mean, she is always giving somebody instruction. She says she wishes Swayze could be more vulnerable with her. She asked him whether this is lust, and he says, of course.
Damn it, Siri.
Yeah, he said, she said lust, and he was like, of course, I need to like you before I can get to know you. I said, oh, okay. She tells him not to settle. And he said he's not settling. That's why he's here. If he asks what his ideal situation is, being with, his 8-year-old daughter, and what does that look like with him dating? And basically, he lets us know that he hasn't really introduced his daughter to anyone that he's dealt with. And this would be only the second woman he's ever met. So he wants to make sure that they're in a real live relationship, and he just not out here introducing his daughter to anybody. And then she asked, well, what do you feel you could have done better in his last relationship? I said, look, we are on an interview today.
Right. She did come with the questions.
She did.
You would have thought she was in her phone, like, well, you know what my next question is.
Right. He says that he felt like he brought a lot of stress home from his job, and probably, would work on that and probably try to do better. And Swayze said that he likes the fact that he's more open to Katie, and that's not something that he usually does with just anybody. So we see I guess their little romance or bond strengthening a little bit more. And, he doesn't mind being drilled and answering the questions and her talking too much or, telling him what he needs to do. So kudos. It's like a match made in heaven.
It's a baby.
It's a baby. Now,
baby.
They all get together, y'all, to meet up with Nephew
Tommy.
Group dinner. Shakira is a bit nervous. She feels anxiety anytime she gets with the women, and especially the fact that she's having issues with Kagan, and says this is not what she's here for.
I think she expected a different response than what she got.
Nephew Tommy starts off by asking the ladies how the men did with their assignment this week, and everyone pretty much agrees that they did a good job. No, I don't think anybody talked about Swayze's date. He lets
no, they didn't.
He lets them know that because they said they were there to look for a long romance, he wants to weed out, the BS and get to the real, and basically ask them, to lay it all out on the table. If you see something, or call them out, basically point them out. So Jay starts off
immediately
calling off Rah-Rah, right? She's like, Rah-Rah, are you playing the field, or are you playing both sides? She says she knows he's intentional when it comes to her, but at a certain point, he needs to say what he needs to say to these other women. I said, ooh. She said, let him know. Let him know. Now, Randall realizes that him playing the field may hurt Jay. However, it's part of the process. She then calls out Shakira, which I was kind of thrown off by, and says she's not sure where they stand. And so basically, then Shakira brings up how, she felt like she was betrayed at the, house party. And then basically says Katie that she took a step back from everybody. Katie is like, well, is that me? If you're gonna call me out, then say it. Was that me? And she's like, well, is it you? She's like, I'm not here to play these games. Well, is it
I ain't really here to play no game.
So then Katie wants to address it, and Shakira really is not here for it. Sharice also encourages Katie to,
not rehash it.
Move on, and let's not rehash it. And Katie is not interested in listening. Mother May I is not interested in listening to anyone but herself. Shakira gets up and removes herself from the situation.
I think Trinika followed behind her.
Yeah, Trinika followed behind her. And basically Shakira's like, I'm not here for this. This is not what I'm doing.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I can forgive her and not acknowledge her existence. But what we're not about to do is sit up here and lie.
And Katie is like, look, I'm not.
But you know what, though?
Came on national television. She's like, I'm not about to play this game. I actually tried to defend you and say she probably doesn't need to be a part of this conversation. And so she's like, what you're not going to do is try to paint me this way on national television.
I will say that Katie had no business even speaking on it at all, bringing it up at all. But I think part of the reason why Shakira is so upset is because remember when she was explaining this time and she was like, oh yeah, she should know something about that, and that's not what was said. Katie actually said what was said. She said, maybe we should move on to the next subject because, I something along the lines like it could trigger
she
her.
Has past traumas or triggers.
Something like that. But she had no business bringing it up at all. But it was not like she was basically, oh yeah, she could speak on this, and that's what Keisha said that she said. So yeah, she was wrong about that.
Yeah, no, that wasn't very nice. So then as Trinika, as we know, goes to console her, Nephew Tommy asks if, basically Katie could try to keep a respect level. And she agrees that she's going to try to keep herself under control. Now, Sharice brings up Mikey, as she calls him.
Let's not give my man no nicknames, though.
And keeps opening up. And she's like, oh, he just keeps opening up throughout the process. And Mike was like,
he was like, I ain't really, I don't remember saying none of that.
Right. He was like, who are you talking to?
He's like, I don't think I said all that.
And you could tell she felt played. She was like, oh.
Maybe I was wrong then. You were.
You were.
So let's not call Mike Mikey. I couldn't have been Brandy right there. What you doing giving my nigga?
Couldn't have been Brandy. You definitely couldn't be Brandy in this next scene. Now Looney says she feels.
I know what she's
talking about. She feels Swayze.
She got the cooties.
Basically, she got the cooties because every time she texts, he leaves her on red. So
you know who was feeling that deep down in their soul, feeling great.
Cadian.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy brings up how she thinks Samson is dope, but he can't be out here buying every girl gifts. And Shakira pipes up and it's like, yeah, because I
like my gift.
Right.
He's like, well, I think I buy very thoughtful gifts. What you do, Samson?
Look, Kayla wants to say something about Mike.
It'd be different if you might get the same gift for everybody.
Right. It'd be different if he was out here like trying to Corey with the shit.
Exactly. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I thought it was super dope.
So
it's giving Ion.
It is, right.
Right.
So Kayla wants to say something about Mike, and he basically tells her, get up, talk to me, stand up. And so
I ain't like that.
And so you didn't like it, and neither did Brandy. She basically lets him know that there are feels. She feels he wants her to express it and be open, but isn't giving her the same energy. Brandy is visibly annoyed. And Kayla's like, she wants him to show how he feels despite his other connections.
She says she wants reciprocity.
Right. She brings up how there are so many things that happened the other night, to the point where even Sharice is like, well, what happened? Tommy's like, well,
nothing. But he didn't kiss, he didn't do nothing. And you know what though? I ain't gonna lie, it would have made me feel like, really, what the fuck did happen? Like y'all act like y'all did some shit.
Right.
When really the bitch, he wouldn't even kiss you, boo. He wouldn't even kiss you.
Right. So the ladies step out while nephew Tommy talks to the guys about, who they're thinking about eliminating. Nephew Tommy asks them, after seeing how their partner handles ups and downs and seeing how they handle conflict, basically this should give you a better judge of their character. Mike starts off by saying that Brandy's is the strongest connection as we know, but there is something there with Issa, aka Kayla.
Randall trying to figure it out.
Ra admits that Kayla is a lot of fun. However, he's not sure how serious it is. And he definitely says that Jay, on the other hand, is a different story. And there's a big difference between the two. I said, well, it's getting kind of hectic. I'm sorry. So Justice says that him and Looney are moving forward, though he is still feeling Trinika. And then LJ says, well, that's funny because I'm interested in Looney and Trinika as well. So there's a little bit of friendly competition.
Yeah, he says Trinika is his strongest connection, but he wants to spend more time with Looney.
And Justice is like, I'm here for whatever, so I guess I got to pick up the phone a little bit more, put in a little bit more effort, because clearly LJ is on my ass.
But he think he's too pretty, so he probably ain't gonna do it.
No. But no, he feel like his connection is gonna be all right because he's Justice. Now, Nephew Tommy asks who they're not feeling. LJ says that Jay, although that's like his sister, there's really no romantic connection there. Mm-hmm. Now, Swayze says that Trinika's cool, but she's just a little too soft-spoken for him.
They're total opposites, basically. Right.
Justice names Kayla, and Randall says Sharice. Now, Samson tries to speak up on behalf of Sharice.
He was feeling some type of way.
He felt some type of way. One thing that I will.
Oh, okay. Samson says that him and Sharice are on this journey together, that he has better air flowing through his lungs when she's around, and he likes to be able to breathe easy.
Okay, Samson. That's what she do for you.
You getting real poetic. You getting real poetic, Samson.
Okay, if you like it, we love it.
But you know what? I can see Sharice loving, like, eating this shit up. I can see her loving that.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
I think it's just about reciprocity, and I'm a really big person because I'm a really big like affectionate lover, like so I need that back, and I can't stand to see people like Samson or myself who pour so much into other people and they're not pouring that into you. That's just me. Now,
if I may say, if she's pouring anything, if there's anything to pour, the only person I see her pouring into is Samson. Okay. Whatever she has to pour, she's not pouring into anyone else, even if it's just a tiny little drop. Okay, she's only pouring it into Samson. So.
Now, Samson does say that although he feels some type of way about her being on a chopping block, he does say that his first initial impression wasn't that great, so he can't necessarily be mad at the guys.
He feels that that's what the guys are getting. So
a lot of the guys also bring up Shakira and her past trauma and how they feel like she's still hurt and definitely not healed. Now, Mike says he just doesn't want to be in a position where he has to constantly reassure someone. Finally, we get to elimination. And Nephew Tommy calls up LJ to announce which lady has been chosen to go home.
To give them constructive criticism.
And give constructive criticism. So he calls up Sharice. Now, what I didn't realize until after this scene was over, this is Sharice's third time.
Mm-hmm. She said 3's a charm.
The next time your ass go
home? She said now that it's her third time, that means she here to stay.
Like you said, I don't know. They might throw us for a loop.
She got to connect. I think if anybody's going home, it's Issa.
Well, anyway, they call up Sharice and Shakira. He tells Sharice that she's a beautiful woman, but she needs to stay away from the negative energy and hone in on her connections. Mm-hmm. He tells Shakira that she has beautiful energy. She's a beautiful mom, but believes there are still some things that she's not ready to deal with in the process that she may not be ready to work through. So LJ lets Shakira know that unfortunately her process has ended. And Shakira realizes that maybe she wasn't ready to love and that the guys made the decision for her. However, she does say that the one compliment she always heard from all of the guys was that she was a great mother. We wish Shakira the best. I am going to miss Keisha. Toodles. She's not ready to love. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
To this review of episode 6 of Ready to Love. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And please make sure, if you aren't already, that you're following us on all of our social media platforms, the TikTok, the IG, the Twitter.
By now, you should know what they all are.
The Facebook. I don't think there's Vine anymore. I'm just kidding. So
what?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, we will catch y'all later this weekend for episode 7. So be safe. Have a good week. It's been short. It seems like it's going by fast. And football is coming. So I'm super excited. Anyway, love you guys.
She'll be doing plenty of TikTok. So you could probably follow her personal page to see those.
Good night. Have a great night. Love you, Shade Squad.
Love you.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!